presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Clouds have moved out of San Diego. Sunny skies overhead. We're back inside Petco Park, our final game here this year, as the D-backs look to avoid a sweep. Zack Greinke gets the ball tonight against rookie Luis Perdomo. It's the D-backs and the Padres on Fox Sports Arizona. And good evening from Petco Park. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume and Bob Brenly along the way. Zack Greinke gets the ball tonight as the D-backs trying to avoid the series sweep here. Zack has had 3 starts in September, Bob. He's 0-3. His ERA this month is nearly 6.5. What has changed?
Well, he's not real pleased with the kind of contact that opposing hitters are getting against him. We know Zack Greinke likes to pitch to early contact, keep that pitch count down. Unfortunately, lately, it just hasn't been there for him. So, being the veteran that he is, Zack Greinke's going to make some changes. This was his previous delivery that we've seen from Zack since spring training. And that little hesitation there, saw a little new wrinkle he's added to try to throw off the timing of the hitter of the plate. A little better balance over the rubber on the right. Once again, you'll see the new delivery with that hesitation right there before striding toward home plate. There's an old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Hopefully that won't apply in Zack's case.
Well, D-backs have seen something like that before with Dan Herron when he was in Arizona.
Yeah, and pitchers experiment with it all the time. This is not something that Mike Butcher or Chip Hale or Dave Duncan or anybody came up with, just something he feels will put him in a better position to execute his pitches.
And you can't tell by this shot, but he's got a new haircut under that big hat, and that's pretty funky as well. So it's Greinke and the D-backs against Perdomo and the Padres. First pitch coming up from San Diego.
Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. By Bank of America. Life's better when you're connected. By Oregano. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. On Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Lone Butte Casino. Get in on big wins. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. And by Gigablast, 100 times more powerful internet from Cox. Bring on tomorrow.
Here from the Gaslamp Quarter in downtown San Diego, the statue of the late great Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn, out there in right center field. Zack Greinke set to take them out against Luis Perdomo. First pitch coming up next. Well, we finally have some blue skies in San Diego. That's not usually a problem, but it has rained throughout the first two games of this series. Partly cloudy tonight, very comfortable 72 degrees. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson with you. It's the series finale, the D-backs and the San Diego Padres. And here's your Valley Chevy Dealers lineup for Chip Hale's Diamondbacks tonight.
Gene Segura once again leading it off at second base with Chris Owings at shortstop. Paul Goldschmidt with a big two-run homer in the game last night. He'll be over at first. Wellington Castillo doing the catching. Jake Lamb at third base. Yasmani Tomas in right. Brandon Drury in left. Socrates Brito getting a start in center field tonight. And right-hander Zack Greinke on the mound.
The Diamondbacks won the first series meeting here at Petco Park. That was back in the middle of April. They took 2 of 3 here, but they've not had much luck since. They've dropped the first 2 games of this 3-game set, just 3-6 at Petco Park this season, Bob.
Yeah, the bats have been abnormally quiet in this series. The Diamondbacks did get 16 hits in that last game against the Dodgers on the homestand, but since coming here to Petco Park, the hits have been tough to come by.
And so the Diamondbacks, with a loss last night, dropped to 63-88, 1 game behind San Diego in the National League West. Your Arizona Ford starter for the Padres, Luis Perdomo, 23-year-old right-hander. He began this season in the bullpen after he was picked up in the Rule 5 draft. He had never pitched above A ball as a professional until this year. And the Padres converted him into a starter in the middle of June, and he's developed a tremendous sinker at the big league level. And now, Bob, they expect he'll be part of their rotation next year.
Yeah, and continuing to fine-tune his game. As you mentioned, he throws that heavy power sinker, gets a lot of ground balls. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to hold runners on very well. The teams took liberties on him on the bases. If you're a sinker ball pitcher, you want to make sure that runner stays at first base to give you the opportunity of getting a double play. His complete game start against the Miami Marlins, he got 5 double play grounders and 1 line out into a double play in that ball game.
Yeah, that's a Padres record. 6 double plays behind him in that start at Miami last month. A complete game on just 99 pitches. So that sinker has definitely helped him be more efficient out there. Let's take a look at the Padres defensively. Our Eye on Defense brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
I guess you could say all's well that ends well for John Jay. Misplayed a couple of balls in right field last night, but was able to make the adjustment and still get the outs. Travis Jankowski in center, Alex Dickerson over in left field. It'll be Schimpf and Sardinas on the left side of the infield with Amarista and Myers on the right side tonight. Derek Norris once again behind the plate for the right-hander Luis Perdomo.
Chad Whitson is our plate umpire tonight. He'll have the balls and strikes. Alfonso Marquez at first base. The crew chief Larry Vanover is our second base umpire tonight, and David Rackley's at third. So Luis Perdomo and Zach Greinke, our final game from Petco Park here in 2016. The D-backs and the Padres as Gene Segura leads it off. Segura fifth in the league in hitting at .318. And leading the league in hits. His single Monday, his only hit of the series so far. Although he did walk twice last night. This is in the air right center field. Jay and Jankowski. John Jay has it, and that's the first out. Time now, BB, for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, we mentioned not a lot of offense in the first two games of this series. Diamondbacks need some help from Lady Luck. I mean, some guys really had a good approach at the plate last night, hit some balls right on the button, line outs to second base, line outs to right field. Lady Luck needs to smile on the Diamondbacks one time.
Be a lady tonight. Chris Owings. And like Gene Segura, CO just one hit in the series, a single Monday. Lady Luck not there. He hits it right to Ryan Schimpf at third, and that's 2 outs. Paul Goldschmidt now. 2 hits and 2 RBIs last night. And there was much made about that 21st home run on the year, his first homer in nearly a month. It had been since August 24th. That Goldie last homered. 21 games and 98 plate appearances without a home run. But following the Sardinius error in the 6th inning last night, 1 on and 2 out, Goldie tied the ball game off Paul Clemens.
Line drive homer to straightaway center field on a fastball up and out over the plate. Boy, was that good to see.
And that RBI last night put Goldie at 499 career runs batted in, so he'll soon join Gonzo as the only players in D-backs history with at least 500 RBIs. And naturally, the first question that Goldie got after the game last night was, well, you had the night off last night, and then you homered tonight. That must have really helped. And Goldie said, well, maybe if I had played Monday, I would have hit 2 tonight. You don't know.
Good point.
Yeah. But he'll take the rest when he can get it, he says. But it was a coincidence, maybe. But it sure seemed like he needed a mental day off.
If that's all it took, you just play him every other game and he'd end up with 81 home runs on the season.
It's a good system. Don't tell the sabermetrics people. 2-2. Check swing foul.
Yeah, we talked about Perdomo and that heavy sinking fastball. He also throws, they just call it a breaking ball. It's kind of a hybrid, a curveball slider somewhere in between. At times it'll be a big sweeping breaking ball. At other times they'll throw it a little bit harder. It looks more like a slider.
Well, this guy just turned 23 years old earlier this year, a Rule 5 pick, and he has made tremendous progress while learning at the big league level. And of course, Diamondback fans, having watched Oscar Hernandez all last year, know how Rule 5 works. You have to keep the guy on the roster all year long. And Perdomo has gone from sort of a back-end bullpen mop-up guy to one of their best starting pitchers. All over the course of this year, Goldie sends another one out of here. 2 games and 2 homers. Upper tank at Petco, and it's 1-0. His 22nd RBI, number 500 on the career for Paul Goldschmidt. That one would have been out in any ballpark.
Oh my, that ball was blasted. Well, what a difference it would make over the last week and a half of the season if that man could heat up the way we know he can. Line drive homer to center last night. This one's absolutely crushed into the second deck in left field tonight.
Well, 21 games without a homer. He's got 2 in 2 games. D-backs have a 1-0 lead. Wellington Castillo, the cleanup man. Well, not to make too much of it, but that day off sure looked like it helped. A Jumbo Jack, a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with a purchase of a large drink at Jack in the Box. Tell them Goldie sent you. Wow, that is a really hard hit ball foul. Owings hit one right to Schimpf at third for the second out. Goldie upper deck in left for a homer, and Castillo jumped on that one. Those 66 RBIs, a career high for Welly. He's 0 for 4 in the series. So Goldie just the second D-back ever with 500 runs batted in. Gonzo 774 RBIs in 8 seasons with the Diamondbacks.
Mentioned that Perdomo sinker, but when that pitch is up, it tends to flatten out, doesn't have the same kind of dive bomb movement as it gets into the hitting zone. Hanging sinkers, hitters will hit those just as far as any other pitch a guy could throw them. A sinker that is up there around the belt just tends to flatten out, stay on the same plane. Those are the pitches you can get good swings at.
On the ground to shortstop, and it rolls into left center, a base hit for Wellington. A chance now for Jake Lamb. Lamb 251, 28 home runs. He's now tied with Goldie at 88 RBIs. Jake is hitless in the series so far. Luis Perdomo just beat the Giants in his previous start. That was a week ago at San Francisco. He allowed just 1 run, 4 hits, and 6 1/3 in that ball game. He has pitched at least 6 innings in each of his last 5 starts, including that game, Bob, you mentioned, that complete game win at Miami at the end of last month when he threw only 99 pitches and went all the way. 1-1 on Jake Lamb. Perdomo very effective the last time the D-backs saw him. That was here at Petco Park exactly 1 month ago, August 21st. Gave up just 1 unearned run on 5 hits in 7 innings and got the win. Perdomo also earned a victory at Chase Field back on the 4th of July when he started against the D-backs. So he's done well versus Arizona this year in a starting role.
And as you mentioned, being a Rule 5 pick, there's some polishing to be done here. The young man's got a real live arm, good heavy sinker when he keeps it down in the zone, does give up a ton of base hits. But because he is a Rule 5 guy, they've nursed him along here at the major league level. I mentioned they've worked on his delivery to home plate to try to be a little quicker, hold opposing base runners. This entire season for Perdomo has been very much a learning experience, and you got to believe he's going to be a better pitcher for it moving forward.
He did not even, by all accounts, throw a sinker when he started this year, and now it's become one of the best in the division, maybe the league. So he has really learned along the way here in 2016. Strikes out Jake Lamb and strands Castillo, but Goldie's 22nd home run and his 500th career RBI give the Diamondbacks the early lead. And Zack Greinke is coming up next from San Diego. Diego, D-backs have a 1-0 lead over the Padres. And your Arizona Ford starter for the Diamondbacks tonight is Zack Greinke. 12-7 with a 4.42 ERA. He's lost his last 3 starts, beaten once by the Giants and twice by the Dodgers. And Zack, since his return from the oblique injury that kept him out all of July, has won only twice in 8 starts.
This should be a good venue for him and a good opponent. He's 7-1 with an ERA of 1.96 in 15 career starts against the Padres.
Travis Jankowski leads it off for San Diego, the center fielder.
And we showed you on the open of the show Zack Greinke's new little twist in his delivery, but we should point out he doesn't do it on every pitch. Just mixes it in when he feels he needs to do something else to throw that hitter's timing off.
There it is right there. Grunting on a hard changeup, and it's 1-1.
Well, you mentioned Zack got a haircut.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair under there. It's all above the ears, though. Everything else below got chopped. More aerodynamic that way, less wind drag.
Probably wearing a brand new hat, too, I would imagine.
There's
the
look.
It is, yeah. That's a look, all right.
With his hat on, he looks like our director, Phil Mulligan. Yeah, you know you would. 2-2. Phil is a little follically challenged, but he still looks great.
And his Yankees are winning, so he's so far in a good mood and focused, concentrating.
He'll blow it. Base hit for Jankowski, dunks it into left center field. Travis Jankowski, 30 stolen bases aboard to lead it off for the Padres. Here's the lineup for Andy Green's ball club tonight.
Jankowski leads it off with that base hit into left field. He'll be playing center field. John Jay making his way to the plate. He's the right fielder. Will Myers at first base. Ryan Schimpf at third base. Alex Dickerson in left field. Alexi Amarista at second base. Luis Sardinas at shortstop. Derek Norris doing the catching for right-hander Luis Perdomo.
John Jay, the right fielder. 0 for 8 in the series. He struck out twice last night. Jankowski with great speed at first. He will go. First pitch change up to Jay. 290 and 2 homers. Just came back earlier this month from a broken right forearm that kept him out nearly 70 games. You can see he's got that forearm all taped up or padded. A little protective brace on there. Late time granted by the plate umpire Chad Whitson. Trying to control the running game. Jankowski holds. Jay lifts it in the air. Foul ground, third base side. There's room over there. What a catch. How about that? Brandon Drury. We've seen him do that a lot lately in foul ground, just shy of the stands out there, and Drury's got it for the first out.
Boy, has he made some amazing plays recently out there in left field on a dead run over there. You can see that little notch right there. He takes full advantage of it, goes sliding in there to protect himself against the wall. Nicely done.
We've seen him all year long, really. Absolutely no fear of running into walls, either in right field or left. A nice sliding grab and foul ground to retire Jay, and that brings up Will Myers. Another long set by Greinke, and Myers looks at ball one. Will Myers in there at .260 on the year. He leads the Padres with 26 home runs and 86 RBIs. Jankowski at first, 30 steals. He's been caught 11 times. Thrown out by Wellington Castillo trying to steal second base Monday in the series opener. Fastball's in there, and it's 1-1. Numbers on Myers. He's got 2 hits in the series. He has doubled and homered. Jankowski holds on the 1-1. And Greinke drops a curveball in there for a strike. It's 1-2. When we were here in the middle of August last month, Travis Jankowski was running wild on the Diamondbacks.
Well, Zach Greinke's done the right thing to slow down an opposing base stealer, alter your delivery to home plate. We've seen him just hold the ball out there until timeout was called. We've seen him quick pitch, and he unloads very quickly to home plate. He's not one of those guys that has to unwind a lot of body parts. Very compact delivery, gets rid of it quickly. Should give Wellington Castillo an opportunity should Jankowski run.
Fastball is ball 3. The count is full. Ryan Schimpf on deck, back in the cleanup spot tonight. Padres have a much deeper bench than they did last night. They called up a bunch of guys from AAA El Paso after the ball game last night. El Paso finished up their playoff series. Jankowski goes on the 3-2, and Myers shoots it foul into the seats. Will Myers, an all-star this year for the first time in his career. He put up some big-time numbers in the first half of the season, but it's been a quiet second half. He's hitting only .220 since the All-Star break.
And a little bit of a risk starting the runner over there on the 3-2 pitch to Will Myers. He's punched out 150 times this year.
Jankowski holds this time, and it's ball 4. Our eye on defense for the D-backs, sponsored by Nationwide Vision Center.
Socrates Brito getting a start in center field. We've already seen Brandon Drury make a great sliding catch in left. Yasmani Tomas will be over in right. It'll be Jake Lamb and Chris Owings on the left side of the infield with Gene Segura and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Wellington Castillo behind the plate for righty Zach Greinke.
So Greinke with a 1-0 lead, but in immediate trouble. 2 on, 1 out for Schimpf, the cleanup man. Jankowski at second, Myers at first. Both guys have at least 25 stolen bases. They can both really run. You don't see a lot of guys who bat cleanup at 5'9", 180, but Ryan Schimpf has got some pop. 19 home runs. And last night he scored 3 runs. Keep in mind it was a 5-2 ball game, so every run mattered. He scored 3 runs without getting a base hit. Single Monday night, his only hit in the series. He was hit by a pitch and walked twice to lead off 3 innings, and he scored all 3 times. Yanks that one foul, and it's 1-1. Ryan Schimpf with those power numbers. It profiles at third base. He's been playing there a lot more lately. While Yangervis Solarte has been away from the team dealing with the incredibly tragic death of his young wife. And they have a jersey hanging in the Padre dugout in her memory. She just passed away after a long battle with cancer. 3 young daughters. And Solarte has had to deal with all of that in the Padres organization. All his teammates have been tremendously supportive. She passed away at the age of 31. And Solarte's not played since last Wednesday. He's been in Florida attending to family and funeral arrangements. And Andy Green has said all the Padres can do is love Solarte and support him. So Schimpf, who's been playing a lot of second base this year, has been in at third the last week or so. 2-2 on Ryan Schimpf. There's that big swing, and he strikes out. First strikeout for Greinke, 2 down.
Slider started inside, worked its way farther inside. Schimpf just couldn't lay off, swung right over the top of it for the second out of the inning.
Well, here's a guy who's been a problem all series long. It's Alex Dickerson, the left fielder. He's had 2 hits in each of the first 2 games in this series. He doubled twice last night. 254 and 9 home runs. He's got Jankowski at second, Myers at first, and 2 outs. Talked about last night how the Padres have moved some of their veteran outfield pieces. They moved some money as well. Matt Kemp is no longer here. Melvin Upton Jr. no longer here. Alex Dickerson has been the beneficiary of some playing time in the outfield. They called up some of their top prospects after the game last night. Many of them are outfielders as well, so that process will continue. Hunter Renfroe at a big year. AAA is here. Manny Margot. Carlos Asuaje, one of the players they got from Boston in the Craig Kimbrell deal. All the top prospects they got in that trade are all here now for the final week or so of the season. Pops it up behind shortstop. Owings drifting out there. Drury coming in, and he's got it. And Zach Greinke does a good job. He strands 2 and keeps it 1-0 D-backs. Padres. Hey, D-backs fans, you can't go back to the 90s, but Pepsi has the next best thing. So tighten up your fanny pack because Crystal Pepsi is back. It's available in stores now, but only for a very limited time. Paul Goldschmidt's second home run in as many games, the only run of this game so far. And Yasmani Tomas leads off the second against Luis Perdomo. Tomas very patient up there. Takes ball one. 4 hits and a walk in the series. He doubled twice last night.
Yeah, leading off the inning both times in the 5th and the 7th. That's where that lady luck comes in because Brandon Drury came up after both of those doubles. That one bounced down to third. Schimpf fires across for the out. Yeah, after those leadoff doubles, Brandon Drury lined out to right field in one of the at-bats in the 5th inning and lined out to second base in the 7th inning, trying to do the right thing, move the ball to the right side of the field, advance that runner to third, and both times he lined it right into the defense.
Well, we'll see if Brandon can get his luck changed tonight. He is hitless in the series so far. 279 and 15 home runs. Couple of sinkers from Perdomo. He's learned to sink that ball very, very well. It's thrown very hard, but with a grip change for him, it creates a lot more life on the pitch, a lot of movement. It's tough to square up, and he's had pretty good command with it. And at the Padres' urging, he's gone to that sinking two-seamer a whole lot more often as of late. Generates a lot of ground balls, as we mentioned. A record 6 double plays behind him, and that started Miami last month when he threw a 99 pitch complete game. So he's not afraid to get aggressive with that sinker, like right there.
Yeah, 5 of those double plays were ground balls to his infielder. The 6th one was a line drive back to the mound that Perdomo snagged and threw to first base to get the runner too far off the bag.
He has really done a nice job of evolving as a pitcher. They're thrilled. Here's another ground ball. Looked like Perdomo might have got a glove on that, but Amarista's there, and that's the second out. Perdomo started out as a Rule 5 guy this year. He was sort of stashed away, hidden in the back of the bullpen to keep him on the roster. And didn't really even throw a sinker. He was 4-seamer, curveball. He's got a split changeup he'll throw too. But he threw that fastball 97 miles an hour. He tried to get by with that, but that sinking two-seamer has become more and more effective, and now he throws it almost all the time. Socrates Brito. Socrates 190 and 3 homers. First pitch changeup from Perdomo that time. Doubled up on it. It's kind of like a splitter changeup type deal. You can see the drop on it. Another guy that throws a changeup, 87, 88. Off a 92 or 93 mile an hour fastball. Brito drives one right at Jankowski. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Perdomo. D-backs lead the Padres 1-0.
Zack Greinke getting out of a jam to put up a 0 in that first inning. We've talked about his new delivery. I asked pitching coach Mike Butcher about it because he's always talking with the young pitchers about how important a repeatable delivery is. His answer, though, was simple. Zack is a veteran, and his delivery, he called it predictable. So Zack knows exactly what he's doing, batter to batter, and in that way, guys, you trust him. It also helps, of course, a Cy Young Award winner, an ERA last year of 1.66, and all of those things.
Yeah, he gets to throw however he wants, I guess, right?
He gets a little bit of a hall pass based on what he's done in the past. Yeah, especially mechanically. I mean, some pitchers are constantly searching. I think back to Trevor Cahill and his time here in the desert, just could never find a mechanical approach that suited his delivery, or at least that he was comfortable with. But I think for a guy like Zack Greinke, he's very comfortable with his mechanics. He knows what he's doing out there on the mound, which allows him to toy with them from time to time and still be able to get back to the default setting without any problem.
Ahead of Alexi Amarista, 1-2 to lead off the bottom of the second. Well, Greinke was asked by reporters about the pause over the rubber in his delivery. And frankly, he really didn't want to discuss it. He would only say that it's a long answer and he doesn't feel like spending 5 minutes talking about it. And there's no reason he needs to explain it. So that was basically it. So it's still a bit of a mystery.
I'm not sure if there is a topic that Zack feels like talking 5 minutes about anything.
Maybe fantasy football.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there you go.
But as Jody was mentioning, Mike Butcher did say that, you know, the general philosophy for something like that with any pitcher would be getting back over the rubber, stay behind the ball a little longer. It might help you keep the ball down, a little better command. But that's about as much as we know. There's the pause and hesitation right there, and Amarista chases a high fastball and strikes out.
Amarista will chase that high fastball all night long. He's got little man syndrome. He thinks he's a big power hitter and he likes that ball up in the zone, but he will chase higher than high.
At 5'6", 160, he's got very little man syndrome. Here's the switch hitting shortstop Luis Sardinas. Sardinas 237 and 4 homers. Acquired by the Padres in the middle of August for a player to be named from the Seattle Mariners, where he started the year. He's done well in San Diego. He's hit about 290. Started 23 games at shortstop, and he's back in there tonight. He's a switch hitter, better career numbers from the right-hand side. Gets jammed on that pop-up. Jake Lamb will give it a look near the D-back dugout. Careful here. And he's got it. Nice play, Jake Lamb. Little underhand catch, 2 down.
Yeah, a little basket catch that time by Jake. He knew he was close to those steps leading down into that third base dugout. Took one last peek right there. Gets to the spot and makes the play.
Well, he looked really good down there defensively last night. Made a number of really good plays.
A really good rhythm in all of his defensive plays last night. His feet and body were working really well together. Made a nice play on a bunt right down the third baseline. He was doing it all.
4 in a row set down by Greinke. Here's the catcher, Derek Norris. Norris was just wearing it last night, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Hitless in the series so far. And the average for the Padre catcher now at 183 on the year. He's got 13 home runs. High fly ball headed for the left field corner. Brandon Drury looking for it, and it's in the seats. See Brandon sort of raise his hand like, I'm having trouble finding this ball. It's a light sky this time of night. He started an hour earlier than usual, a 6:10 local start. Fouled back. We talked about some of the fans here at Petco Park. How about this celebration? Seems to be indicating that he caught the ball.
I don't think you should get that excited if you pick it up off the ground. If you catch it, sure.
Well, he appears to have dropped several items as well, trying to pick it up off the ground. So.
Minor detail.
Breaking ball missed, and it's 1-2 on Derek Norris. Fastball's outside, and it's 2-2. We talked about Norris's bat. It has just been an absolute free fall all year long. He's hitting only 131 since the All-Star break, and he's playing nearly every day.
Home runs on the season. He had 11 at the All-Star break, which was the second most by a catcher in Padres history. Only Mike Piazza had more in the first half of the season when he hit 12.
And he had a good year offensively coming over from the Oakland A's last year in San Diego. Career highs: runs scored, hits, doubles, homers, RBIs. Tried to come inside with a hard changeup and missed, and the count is full 3-2. Perdomo, the pitcher, would be next. Got it in on the hands. Jake Lamb at third. 1-2-3 second for Zach Greinke. He set down 5 in a row and leads it 1-0.
Here's what I got. I've been watching this past week, Baker. Seems like you got a lot of people telling you who you're doing this for, and I wonder if it's not about time you start doing this for yourself. Just you. Screw all the attention. And you know what? Screw all those adorable little girls in the crowd with their Ginny Baker signs, because you're not a Girl Scout leader, rookie. You're a ball player.
That is Ginny Baker, who was the star of the new Fox drama, a baseball drama, which is great to see, Rick. Pitch, which debuts on Fox tomorrow night, the premiere episode. And Rick Singer, the co-creator and executive producer, is here with us. Thanks for being here, first of all.
Thanks for having me.
Great to tomorrow night's the big night, right?
Thursday night, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock on Fox.
Now, as you could see, that took place right here at Petco Park in San Diego. Ginny Baker, the mythical first woman ever to pitch in the big leagues, a member of the San Diego Padres. How'd you get the idea for the show, and how'd you get it off the ground?
Well, originally we actually were thinking of it as a movie, but then the producer, Tony Bill, who actually grew up here in San Diego, who I was developing it with, went to a party and spoke to Dan Fogelman, who's the other co-creator, and mentioned the idea. And Dan had just signed a big deal with Fox, and he decided to that it would make a great TV show. So that's we shifted our focus, and we have a series on the air which we couldn't be more thrilled about.
And it premieres tomorrow night on Fox, 9 o'clock, right?
Correct.
Now, why the Padres? Why is she a Padre?
We thought it would make for a great. There are various logistical reasons. One of which the proximity to LA. It's a beautiful ballpark. And in our initial conversations with the commissioner, that was one of the teams that he had mentioned, just because they're a mid-market team. And from our level, from our perspective on a creative level, it was fun that they were sort of an underdog franchise or a mid-market franchise, rather than having her pitch for the Yankees or the Dodgers.
The type of team that might take a chance on a female pitcher.
Absolutely, and we felt like the fan base here would embrace her, and I have to say, we shot the entire pilot in this park. I feel like this has become a second home for us. We come down at the end of every month and shoot our baseball sequences. There's not a bad seat in this park. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's really a dream to be able to shoot here.
So every time the Padres are out of town, you guys are here filming your show. That's interesting.
Yes, and we try and double up or triple up on episodes so we can get as much baseball in while they're out of town.
And Major League Baseball has been very cooperative here?
Yes, there are full partners in it. It's our priority was the authenticity, as was theirs, and so being able to use the stadiums and the uniforms and a lot of the real announcers, Joe Buck and John Smoltz, do the initial episode. We'd love you guys to do one when we're playing the Diamondbacks.
Nice.
But it's really it really lends itself to it feeling as real as possible, which was our priority from day one.
Well, now, going for authenticity, I have to say that the little clip we saw with the catcher out there talking to the young lady pitcher, that was way longer than 30 seconds.
The
umpire would have been out there.
There is a moment. Now, if they let the clip run a little bit, you would have seen the umpire come out and rushing him along. So
those umpires ruin everything.
Point well taken.
And that's the. I didn't watch the show because I'm too old, but that's the guy from. What's the show?
Oh, for the manager, Dan Lauria from Wonder Years.
Oh, no, the catcher.
Oh, the catcher is Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell, that's
Gosler. He's amazing, and it's a total reinvention for him. He really.
I didn't even recognize him there.
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
and,
that was great.
That was from the audition. Dan Fogelman looked at him and said, "You're perfect for this. We need you to put on 20 pounds and let's get you a beard and let's make you look like a real ball player."
How hard was it to find your star, the young lady who plays Ginny Baker, to make her look like a real major league pitcher? She's a very attractive girl. She looks athletic. I mean, I imagine there's a lot you're looking for there with that part.
The answer is it was exceedingly hard. It was sort of a Scarlett O'Hara type search.
I bet.
And she actually comes from an athletic family. Her father was a professional soccer player. Her brother is a professional soccer player. But it took us a few months to find her, and when we did, we just we felt like we hit the jackpot.
How do you find her? What's that process like?
Well, we went through the normal casting process, but obviously it was extremely difficult to find someone who could both carry a drama and be an amazing actress as Kylie is, but also sell the fact that she could be a major league pitcher. We actually cast her before we had a script because we wanted to get her into training for 2 or 3 months before we shot the pilot.
Right.
So we had her working with major league pitchers. Greg Olson is our main consultant who's been working with her for months now. And she goes through the same regimen as any starting pitcher goes through. Has her off-day sessions, and she's an amazing find. I think the country's going to fall in love with her.
I mean, this looks as authentic as it gets right here.
It's listen, I got to say, I am just amazed at, and our cinematography, just the fact that we get to shoot at the ballpark, it's so much fun. And then on top of it, we get to use the Fox Sports cameras, which make a huge difference in terms of letting us have the experience of what it's like for the fans to be watching at home.
Now, here's a dumb question. How hard does she throw in the show? Like, what's the premise here? Why is she, or what does she do that gives her the ability in the show to become the person that she is, the first female pitcher in baseball?
Well, again, we wanted it to be as credible as possible. So our first order of business was not to try and do something hokey where she had been injured in an accident and all of a sudden she could throw 98 miles an hour. Yeah, no, we understood the physical limitations, and so we developed a backstory where her father was a former minor league pitcher who decided to groom her from an early age and taught her a screwball, which he had learned late in his career, which is kind of a forgotten pitch. Fernando Valenzuela obviously used it to great success, but you know, she doesn't. Her fastball doesn't. It tops out at 87. Right. And the screwball is really her secret pitch that you know, hitters are not used to seeing when thrown well, which she does, is very deceptive. And so that's how we decided, you know, we think that's a credible story in terms of how somebody like, and we used Greg Maddux and people like that as models who have great stuff, but you know, they're not throwing 95 either, but they can get batters out.
Yeah, that seems like maybe a very believable premise.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the screwball, kind of a forgotten pitch. John Franco for the Mets used to throw one. You mentioned Fernando Valenzuela. Very few guys. I mean, you have to go way back in baseball history. Carl
Hubbell, absolutely.
Yeah, some of the real old timers that threw the screwball.
Yeah. No, but that was important to us because we knew that was going to be the first question anybody asked, which was, come on, how is a woman going to compete? Right. And a starting pitcher, a fifth starter as she is, who's not a superstar, is going to, you know, that we decided that was the way to go. We didn't want her to, obviously we weren't going to have her be a position player. We weren't going to have her compete on totally equal footing. But if you can master a screwball, which you know, modern day hitters are not used to seeing, and kind of breaks away in the opposite direction of a slider, you know, I think somebody can really have success, and that's and she's really remarkable. I think she's perfected her motion. She really looks believable, and I think people are going to be very surprised and very convinced right off the bat.
Yeah, a lot of the shots we saw fans in the stands. I assume it's just an open call for bodies to be sitting in the stands to make it look more realistic. How do you get those people in here?
Yeah, we put out casting calls for extras, and we have a certain amount. But then, obviously, we understand with this modern-day Jackie Robinson story we're telling that you know, her first appearances would all be sellouts. She'd be a phenomenon. So we didn't have 43,000 extras. That's a little expensive.
Well, they had 34,000 in here last night. So
no, but for our purposes,
according to the numbers,
when we were shooting, we didn't hire 43,000 extras. So there's a little visual effects help that comes into play in terms of putting the crowd in.
In the movies, like, you know, they have a section of people, and then when they need to shoot at a different angle, they move all the people to another section.
That is exactly how you do it.
Oh, nice. All right.
That's the secrets of the trade.
See, we get the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Well, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Zach Greinke. So Pitch on Fox premieres tomorrow night, and we're with Rick Singer, the co-creator and executive producer. This looks like a great show.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're really excited about it. It's I think it's got something for everybody. It's a show that people can watch with their family, but it's also a workplace drama. It's high-end drama with and it's about these real people who have real problems, but also, you know, she is overnight the most famous woman in the country. She's just been called up for this spot start, and she's Alice who just got shot out of a cannon into Wonderland, and what's that like all of a sudden? Jackie Robinson didn't have to deal with real-time social media, and so she's dealing with a lot of the same issues, but with a much greater 24-hour news cycle at hand.
2-0 on John Jay. Greinke has now retired 6 in a row.
I know you don't want to give away too much of the story, but does she have a significant other that is in the picture?
Not to begin with. No. She actually, what's part of the interesting element of it is that, you know, we used the Williams sisters as one of our models, sort of the relationship with their father. I was interested, as with Dan, the concept of these sports fathers who drive their children to such a degree that they can do something this extraordinary. But in certain ways, she's very stunted and lived a sheltered existence and been very single-minded. So part of the show is a 23-year-old young woman sort of starting out her adult life for the first time under this media spotlight and all the pressures that are on her as a result of trying. It's hard enough just to make the major leagues and stay on a roster, but she also has a personal life to attend to.
There's Will Myers after the walk to John Jay. Well, Rob Manfred talks all the time about making sure baseball connects with the younger audience and younger viewers, and I imagine this is a show that a lot of young girls who may play soccer right now might get into and may get interested in baseball because of it.
Yeah, and I think that was that's one of the most gratifying things is, first of all, I think there's a huge untapped market in the fictional world.
Will Myers drives one deep to left center field and out of here. Will Myers, his second home run in the series, is 27th of the year, and the Padres take a 2-1 lead. Well, Myers has 3 hits in the series, a double and 2 home runs.
I really waited well on that breaking pitch from Zach Greinke that time. Will Myers, we talked about this lack of batting gloves throughout the season every time we play the Padres, but boy, does he have quick hands through the hitting zone. Once he gets that bat started, selects a pitch he wants to drive and gets one up in the zone like he did right there, he can do some serious damage.
Ryan Schimpf. Do the Padre players, do they have any input, the current Padre players? Do they know about this? I imagine you guys have been around all year long, so you must be in the clubhouse with them sometime.
Oh, they definitely know about it, and we've been able to cross paths with them. But you know, because we're actually shooting here when they're out of town, there's not a lot of interaction. But we're excited to hear their reaction to everything. And we have a bunch of former major leaguers, Greg Olson, Royce Clayton, Chad Kruger, consulting with us, and C.J. Nitkowski. So we've got a lot of checks and balances in terms of getting it right. And then back to your question about young girls.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, first of all, one thing we find very exciting is the prospect of some 9-year-old girl watching in her living room and thinking, huh, why not me? Why can't I be that? And there's a natural sort of cutoff point after Little League. You know, I've had a lot of women come up to me and say, I was Ginny Baker. I was the only girl on my Little League team.
And they have to stop playing.
And then they have to stop playing, and they all have to go to softball. And we'd like this to sort of change that culture and make shifts so that hardball leagues continue and they can play through high school and college. And then, you know, somebody with natural ability who really applies themselves from a young age, I think we will see at some point in the not too distant future a woman playing in the major leagues. I think, you know, you see it in other sports with Danica Patrick, or just the athleticism is incredible. So yes, I think young girls will love this, and I think young boys will like seeing it as well. I think there's something for the whole family here.
Rick Singer, the big premiere tomorrow night on Fox. Pitch. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Real pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Rick. A solo shot off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt. The Padres put a 2-spot on the board, a 2-run homer by Will Myers. It's time to take a look back at this day in Major League Baseball history, brought to you by Geico. The Yankees beat the Orioles, what? In the final game to ever be played at Yankee Stadium. Old Yankee Stadium.
What year was that?
2008.
I was at that game.
Were you really?
Yeah, it was cool. They rolled everybody out, Whitey, Ford, everybody. And they all came out of the dugout in uniforms. That was a cool night, even as a guy from Boston. That was something.
Yeah, after the game was over, Derek Jeter went to the mound and addressed all the fans that were at the ballpark that night.
Yep.
At least that's what my report says. Even though he went 0 for 5.
Yeah, he did that. And I was actually standing on the steps of the Yankee dugout for that ball game because we were doing some network stuff, and that was a very cool moment.
The offensive star of the ball game that night for the Yankees was Jose Molina.
Name that Molina.
That's right. Jose went 3 for 4, drove in a couple of runs.
Goldie bidding for another home run right here. He knocks it to the track and left, but it's going to die out there in the glove of Dickerson. And that's the first out in the 4th. That's 8 straight set down by Luis Perdomo.
Of course, that started about a month of mourning on the part of our director, Phil Bollica.
Well, he deserves it. Now they have the new ballpark, which, you know, those dimensions aren't exactly tough. You got Bald Vinny out there in the bleachers in right field doing the roll call and all that stuff. A-Rod hitting pop-ups that go out for homers.
I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah. That's a fair ball to third for Ryan Schimpf. Sets and throws. Well, Perdomo's got that sinker working now. Ground ball outs are starting to pile up. That's 7 ground ball outs. He set down 9 in a row. Jake Lamb struck out his first time up. So we fly to Baltimore tomorrow. We should get into the hotel in time to watch the premiere of Pitch on Fox, 9 o'clock. Thanks to Rick Singer and the gang for stopping by the booth and giving us a look behind the scenes at that new Fox show. Do you think there will be a woman who pitches in the major leagues, or plays for that matter?
Well, I got booed at a luncheon one time when I was asked that question, and I said, well, no. If there was a woman out there that was good enough to play in the major leagues, these owners and general managers would be fighting themselves to get her on the roster.
Right.
But so far we have not seen that woman.
True.
Now, maybe she's out there somewhere and just needs the opportunity to get her foot in the door like a lot of other gentlemen do.
Well, hopefully this new show Pitch, which premieres tomorrow on Fox, will inspire some young ladies, and in a decade or so we'll see it. As long as you get the kids involved in watching baseball, that's always a positive.
That was a rough crowd, that luncheon. Jeez.
They didn't like your answer, huh?
Well, yeah, I didn't say that a woman should not play Major League Baseball. I just said that they hadn't found her yet, because if they had, teams would be fighting to get her on the roster and get people in the stands, sell merchandise, do all those things that you do when you have something that's unusual.
Well, I mean, people are freaking out about Tim Tebow down there in St. Lucie for the Mets. Get a woman take the mound at a major league game, you wouldn't have an empty seat in the house. The whole nation would be watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the concept of, it's not a trick pitch per se, but she's got this one unusual pitch, the screwball that she's mastered. That seems pretty believable.
That's believable.
In the air to left field for Dickerson. Well, Luis Perdomo got the 2-1 lead on the Myers homer, and he has not looked back. He's rolling now. He set down 10 straight Diamondbacks. D-backs trail at 2-1 at Petco. They trail at 2-1. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. It's Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays 6:30 in the morning, only on FS1. Alex Dickerson leads off the Padres fourth against Zack Greinke, who had been rolling along 7 straight, retired until a walk to John Jay with 2 outs in the third, followed by a Will Myers homer. Made it 2-1 San Diego. And Myers drove it out of here to the deepest part of the ballpark in left center. Greinke at 60 pitches, only 33 for strikes. So he's not been terribly efficient so far. And he's behind on Dickerson, 3-0. So far, Greinke has walked 2, struck out 4. He's given up only 2 hits. The Jankowski single to lead off the ball game, and the Myers homer in the third with 2 outs. Now I should have thought of this while Rick Singer was here, but you've already been in the movies.
Oh, Rain Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name was in Rain Man.
A lot of people don't know that, but that's a great little piece of Bob Brenly trivia. Very good driver. There's a leadoff walk, third of the ball game for Greinke. Now Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman are driving down the road, right, in the convertible, and they're listening to a Reds-Giants game on the radio in that scene, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't recall the exact lines or anything like that, but I went first to third on a base hit into center field.
Oh, great speed, sure.
And the announcer in the movie says, Brenly doesn't exactly pick him up and put him down.
Well, they wanted realism. Did they get it? I don't know. Alexi Amarista.
Yeah, I was shocked myself when I went to see the movie, and I had to ask my wife, did they just mention my name?
That's got to be weird.
Better have my people call their people. I think there's some money involved there.
Time for Wapner. Amarista struck out to lead off the second.
And I wasn't invited to the premiere or any of the parties, the rap parties, or any of that stuff. Nothing.
You could have walked the red carpet, you and Tom Cruise. Dickerson takes off for second. Amarista taps it back to the mound. Greinke has to settle for 1, and they stay out of the double play.
Good choice. I like the fact that Zach at least looked to the lead runner to see if he had a play at second base. When he determined it was too late, he had plenty of time to toss on to first for the easy out. And he takes a look right there and decides, nope, not worth a shot.
So Dickerson in scoring position, 1 out for the shortstop Luis Sardinas. He popped up his first time up. Carves this one the other way. Here comes Brandon Drury again on the run in fair territory, and he's got it. 2 outs. That one looked like it might slice foul into foul ground, but it hung up there long enough for Drury to get underneath it, and that brings up the catcher Derek Norris.
Yeah, there's really no wind to speak of here at Petco Park tonight. The flag's out in left center field, just hanging limp right now. Ball had some natural slicing action off the bat, but Brandon got a great jump and got to it in fair territory.
Chad Whitson, the plate umpire, out to break up the mound meeting with Castillo and Greinke about how they want to work to Norris here. Do have first base open and the pitcher on deck. Well, the way Norris has swung the bat lately, 0 for 5 in the series with 4 strikeouts. Or I should say 0 for 5 his last 5 times up with 4 strikeouts. We'll see how they attack him here.
Starts him off slider curveball, and it's 2-0. Zach has thrown a lot of pitches tonight.
Yeah, threw 2 there to Derek Norris. That sets up this intentional walk. He was hoping Norris would chase one of those first 2 pitches, and then possibly he would pitch him very carefully with first base open. But after he fell behind 2-0, Chip Hale held up 4 fingers and said just send him on down to first.
So this will be the 4th walk issued by Greinke, 1 intentional. He's got 4 strikeouts, and here's the pitcher Perdomo. Well, Zach Greinke, 3 starts in September, 3 losses. He's 0-3 this month with a 6.48 ERA. Although in each of his last 2 starts, Zach has completed 6 full innings and given up only 3 runs. Diamondbacks have scored a total of just 5 runs in the ball game in Greinke's last 2 starts. Losses on the last homestand against the Giants and the Dodgers. And so far tonight, only 2 hits against Luis Perdomo. Dickerson at second and Norris the catcher at first. Two. Zach has just not been locating the way you expect him to when he's at the top of his game like he did all last year. 39 strikes tonight, 35 balls. Another one in the dirt. 2-2. Perdomo lays off a couple of sliders there. Giants Dodgers underway in LA. San Francisco leads 1-0 top of the first inning. Giants playoff spot hanging by a thread right now in that wild card race. Basically down to 3 teams for 2 spots. Hey, a good catch by a Padre fan. Now we sort of called them out last night, so redemption there for Padre Nation here at Petco Park. A nice job.
Yeah, nice one-handed catch. Now you're allowed to stand up and pump your fist when you make a play like this.
In traffic.
Yeah, when you chase it down the row and pick it up out of the hot dog wrappers, that doesn't count.
2-2. There's called strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Greinke, who strands 2. Diamondbacks trail it 2-1.
when we're here and we're doing our jobs and we're you know, engulfed in what we're doing, it's no problem. But yeah, when you're off the field, you're thinking about, you know, what's going to happen. It's natural. But everybody's been so good. You know, Tony, Stu, we've just talked baseball, talk about the club, and guys are how they're doing in the minor leagues. You know, different levels and who we're going to protect and things like that. So we're just keeping it all baseball.
Chip Hale, when asked if it's difficult at times to focus on the task at hand when his future is uncertain, and not surprisingly, guys, Chip talking about, yeah, when we're out on the field, it is all baseball. He's been professional, and as he talked about it, Tony La Russa, Dave Stewart as well. But yes, and Tony addressed it as well on his radio show this morning on Arizona Sports 98.7. But yes, he's, of course, everyone, including Chip, anxious to find out what their future does hold.
And Deshaun Watson has left the organization, and we are at game 152 right now, so it's just natural to speculate and wonder what's going to happen after a disappointing season that right now finds the Diamondbacks, Bob, a game behind the Padres and last in the NL West.
And a lot of reasons for where the Diamondbacks are in the standings. Certainly the injuries have played a huge role. Some guys having subpar seasons, just a lot of different reasons. But, you know, Derek Hall, when asked about it back on October 31st, I believe, was kind of the drop dead date to let some people know whether they were going to be asked back next year or not. And Derek said, let's just finish the season. We'll address it after everybody's done doing what they need to do to get to the finish line on this season. So certainly there's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of different people. I mean, many players go through it every year. You know, those bench guys, Ricky Weeks, for example, he has to wonder about his future after the next 10 days. What does the future hold for Ricky Weeks? Does he have a place in this organization as Tomas dunks one into right field for a leadoff base hit? So not uncommon even for the staff and the front office personnel to have a lot of uncertainty this time of year.
Well, the Diamondbacks were through this process just a few years ago when Kirk Gibson was here and Kevin Towers, and now they find themselves in the same boat. I know it's unpleasant to talk about it, but it's something you went through as a manager. It can't be easy.
It's not easy at all, and the hardest part is answering the questions about it on a nearly daily basis, pre and post game. Do you feel any differently about your future after the game's over? Well, no. You know, I felt like Chip did. When you're at the ballpark in uniform, you're preparing for a ball game, trying to get your players ready to go out there, figure out matchups that may work to your advantage late in a ball game. You're just totally consumed by that night's game. But a lot of long hours in hotel rooms and on planes and buses when your mind can't help but wander and ask yourself, what if?
0-1 on Brandon Drury. Tomas's single, his 5th hit of the series so far to lead off this 5th inning. Snapped a stretch of 10 straight retired by Luis Perdomo, the rookie right-hander. Just the 3rd hit for the D-backs. Up the middle, Sardinas, Amarista, double play ball. Well, we talked about Luis Perdomo and that heavy sinker that's become an outstanding pitch. And that has become his bread and butter. The ground ball out, he picks up a double play right there.
Yeah, he could develop into the kind of pitcher that you have to approach the same way we used to approach Greg Maddux, because he does throw that heavy sinker, because he does get so many ground balls. When you do get runners on base, if you don't make something happen, play a little hit and run, try to steal a base, try to make something happen offensively, you're just going to ground into double plays all night long.
You mentioned about his complete inability earlier this year, Luis Perdomo, to control the running game, but Andy Green has been thrilled with the progress he's made there as well, and says that's probably completely overlooked about Perdomo. And Andy, it had admitted earlier this year he just couldn't hold a runner to save his life. And now he's holding runners. He's varying holds, varying looks, varying times. And when he is able to keep that guy at first, it generates more double plays.
Yeah, the first 12 base stealers against him this year were all successful, but over the last 5 games, not even an attempt.
2-1 on Socrates Brito.
Obviously, the Padres very excited about the future of Luis Perdomo. Guy's got a great arm out there. Figures to get better as he gets more experience, a little more knowledge of opposing hitters, but you have to be encouraged by how coachable he is. They told him, hey, you got to do a better job of holding base runners. And boom, he works on it. He gets much better at it. Now teams rarely even try to steal against Perdomo. If a young man is that coachable, you really like your chances of turning him into something special.
This is his first 3-ball count all night long. And Brito putting up a fight here. Yeah, Perdomo just 23. And you watch the way he's matured. It's hard to believe that prior to this year he had never pitched above A ball as a pro. But as a Rule 5 pick, he has spent all of this year on the big league roster, both in the bullpen and now in the rotation, and he's clearly made a lot of progress. He rings up Brito. Just the second strikeout for Perdomo. Erases the leadoff single and keeps it 2-1 San Diego. To lead off the Padre fifth. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Looks like the Dodgers are going to win the National League West, so it's come down to the wild card, and what a race it's been. You've got 3 teams for 2 spots separated by a half game. The Giants a half game up on the Mets and the Cardinals right now. And the Giants lead at Dodger Stadium 1-0, bottom 1 with Matt Moore on the mound. So the Giants are a half game up on New York and St. Louis. Miami is 4 off the final wild card spot, so they're still in it technically, as are the Pirates, but that's a lot to make up right now with a week to go, basically. Call it a week and a half, 10 games. There's the wild card. Both the Mets and the Cardinals 80 and 72. Giants playing right now, and they've just let the lead get away. It's 1-1 now, bottom 1 in LA. The Dodgers have tied the ball game. Dodgers looking for their 4th consecutive NL West title. Jankowski has singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Goldie at first. Nice backhand stab. Greinke hustles over, and they retire the speedy Jankowski. You know, Bob, in looking at that wild card, and I love the 2 wild cards. I think it's worked great. Places much more emphasis on winning the division, I think, as it should be. And it creates a couple of exciting wild card winner-take-all type games, which are event television. Baseball needs more of that. But if you're going to have 2 wild card teams, I think there's too much emphasis now placed on divisional play, because you only play teams outside your division twice all year. And yet you end up competing with those teams at the end of the year. Like right now, the Mets and Cardinals in 2 different divisions. They're neck and neck right now. But they've only played each other twice this year.
Back in the day, you know, the last couple months of the season were all played within your own division. You know, you got all the Central and the Eastern Division games out of the way. This was before interleague play, obviously, but that last month or month and a half of the season, you were within your own division.
Well, look at the Giants, for instance, a half game up in the wild card. The Giants played the Dodgers 19 times this year, but they're tooth and nail right now with the Mets and the Cardinals, and they've played each one of those teams only twice all year, 6-7 games tops. So maybe I like the emphasis on divisional play, but maybe just tone it down a bit. I don't know if you need to play each other 19 times. That's a lot. 0-2 on John Jay.
Padres fans have improved considerably tonight. Another nice catch down the left field line this time.
After we kind of called them out last night, they have responded.
Must have come out early to work on that this afternoon.
Big hesitation that time from Greinke, and Jay just does stay alive. John Jay, the Federalist. "14 games since he returned from that broken right forearm that's heavily padded there. And he's hit .255 since he's been back. Came back September 6th. Zach Greinke, I don't know if he's trying to not throw his slider for strikes all the time, and he might be, especially in a 2-strike count, but that slider has not been a swing and miss pitch tonight. Fastball inside. He didn't go, says David Rackley at third.
That looked like a good pitch. I think that's what Wellington Castillo is asking him. Just because I dropped it, that pitch appeared to be on the inside part of the strike zone there. The umpire will tell you, if you dropped it, how could it have been a strike?
Chad Whitson back there. 2-2 now on John Jay. That's a foul ball. Greinke's going to be over 90 pitches in the 5th inning. So it won't be a long night for Zach tonight. He's had to work hard. Still has given up only 2 runs on 2 hits. He's walked 4, 1 intentionally, struck out 5. With the Dodgers 4 in the bottom of the 1st against the Giants, and they're still batting. Matt Moore's getting knocked around. On the ground, a shortstop for Chris Owings. 2 outs.
Hey fans, with a D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Will Myers a walk and a homer. The home run is 27th of the year. It followed a John Jay walk with 2 outs in the 3rd after Greinke had retired 7 straights. The Jankowski leadoff single, the Myers homer, the only hit so far against Greinke. This was Will Myers, deepest part of the ballpark in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. And a hanging curveball.
Yeah, up and out over the plate. Myers knew he got enough of it right off the bat, even in this big ballpark.
Fastball runs in for a strike, and it's 1-1. 90 pitches for Greinke, 50 strikes. If Will Myers stays hot these last 10 games or so, he could get the Padres' first ever 30-30 season. He needs 3 more homers and 4 more stolen bases. Reaches out and lifts it to left center field. Drury is there. And Greinke works a 1-2-3 fifth. Diamondbacks through 5 trail the Padres 2-1. With some D-backs fans, Diamondbacks trail the Padres 2-1. Hey fans, 2017 schedule is now available, and you can become a D-backs season ticket holder. Get the best seats for the lowest prices. You'll get access to exclusive events, discounts on concessions and merchandise, and a whole lot more. You can learn more about being a Diamondbacks season ticket holder in 2017. Check out next season's schedule as well. It's all there at dbacks.com. You finish up the home schedule this year against these Padres coming up next weekend. Final 3 games of the year at the end of this road trip. Zack Greinke leads off the 6th against Luis Perdomo, who's given up just 1 run on 3 hits, a Goldie solo homer in the first. Dodgers still batting in the bottom first in LA. Yasiel Puig, a 3-run homer off Matt Moore. It's 4-1 Dodgers. They lead the Giants. Giants, if they lose, will drop back into a 3-way tie for the National League wild card with the Mets and Cardinals. Shallow right center. Jankowski on the run coming in, and he's got it. Segura 0 for 2. Segura leading the National League, 190 hits, so 10 to go for 200. 16 to go to tie Gonzo's D-backs record. Perdomo 70 pitches, 44 strikes. Staying away from the fastball with Segura. Slider, curveball, and it's 2-0. Drops that sinker in there, and it's 2-1. Segura had a single Monday, his only hit of the series. He walked twice last night. Trying to bunt for a base hit. Schimpf is well back, and he can walk to first. Jean Segura, that's hit number 191.
It's freaky. I was just thinking, you know, with Jean Segura and all the hits he's racked up this season, 191 now, I don't remember him bunting for a base hit before that one.
Well, the way he drives the ball in the gaps, he's got 17 home runs. Maybe you don't want him doing that too much, but every once in a while.
Well, he picked a perfect time to do it. Ryan Schimpf was playing with his heels on the outfield grass on the left side of the infield. Just a perfect butt down that third base line.
All right, you got a very good base stealer down there at first with 30 stolen bases on the year, 1 out. And we've talked about how Perdomo has improved managing runners around him. Let's see how he does here with Chris Owings up. Now, are you thinking you're going to see more sinkers here because he's looking for that double play ball?
You would think so, yeah. Whatever pitch you feel it gives you the best chance of putting that ball on the ground. Sometimes it's a hard breaking ball. Other times it's a split finger with some movement down. But for Perdomo, it's a no-brainer. That's that sinker down there around the knees is going to get a ground ball.
And there it is. Backhanded by Sardinius. They'll get 1, and that's all. Hit too far into the hole for Amarista to turn to. They erase Segura and get 2 outs. Here's Goldie. A 2-out homer in the first, his 22nd of the year, and his 500th career RBI. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game. First inning. Upper deck and left.
Shot off the barrel of his bat up into the second deck in left field.
Well, he went 21 games without a home run, 98 plate appearances, and now after the day off Monday, he's homered twice in 2 games. Hitting for another one. This ball is high and deep and way out of here. Oh, that is launched and gone. Paul Goldschmidt, his 2nd tonight, his 3rd in 2 games. And the Diamondbacks have come back to take a 3-2 lead.
You may remember in his last at bat of the ball game, he had a high fly ball to left field that just kind of got out on the warning track and died. So he put a little extra oomph on this one.
Boy, you got it.
He absolutely mashes this ball. That's that flat sinker I was talking about earlier in the ball game. Anytime he gets that pitch up around the belt, it doesn't have the same kind of downward movement. It stays on the same plane. Very easy for a hitter to track, and Goldie crushed it.
Boy, that was way up in the air, as high as the scoreboard lights, and came down in the Padre bullpen. So Goldie is 2nd tonight. Now 23 on the year. Another jumbo jack from Jack in the Box. A free jumbo jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. 21 games without a homer. Now he's got 3 in 2 games. It's such a long season, and it is long, and they've done a lot to clean up the game in terms of getting the substances out of the game. But more days off like that, it just seems like too big a coincidence, Bob, that the day off had nothing to do with his performance these last 2 games.
And like Goldie said, well, maybe I would have hit 2 home runs if I'd have played the first game of the series. But I'm with you. It is just such a long season that you certainly respect the attitude of a guy like Paul Goldschmidt, or back in the day Luis Gonzalez, the guys that want to be in there every day to be accountable to their teammates. They know everybody's looking to them to do something offensively, and they don't want to let the teammates down. But there's just too much anecdotal history of guys taking a day off and coming back refreshed mentally and physically. Even 1 day off makes a big difference.
I remember Chip in spring training said his goal was 10. Get Goldie 10 off days. This is deep in the hole for Sardinius. Plants and throws. And they get Castillo. No challenge from the Diamondbacks. Paul Goldschmidt hits one way out of here. His second tonight. It's 3-2 Diamondbacks. Zach Greinke a 3-2 lead as we start the home half of the 6th. We're on an airplane tomorrow leaving San Diego for the final time this year. Valley Toyota dealers, let's go places. It's off to Baltimore for the weekend for 3 against Buck Showalter and the Orioles. Shelby Miller, Robbie Ray, and Braden Shipley will start those 3 games. Baltimore right now 3rd in the AL East, but they're holding the 2nd American League wild card, so this is a critical series for the Orioles. And we'll be at one of the best ballparks in the business, Oriole Park at Camden Yards. That'll be fun. Ryan Schimpf, the 3rd baseman, leads off the San Diego 6th. So 3 in Baltimore over the weekend, then starting Monday 4 in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals at Nats Park. Nationals counting down to they clinch the National League East division. 0-2 on Schimpf. Schimpf 1 for 7 in the series. That was a single on Monday night. Did you see, at least as of right now, Yovani Gallardo is going to start the opener of that series for the Birds on Friday, and then Saturday, Robbie Ray against Wade Miley.
How about that?
So we'll get a look at Wade Miley Saturday. That's a 4:05 start back home in the great state of Arizona Saturday afternoon. Orioles were beaten again handily tonight by the Boston Red Sox, who are rolling right now.
They're playing some really good ball right now.
Just leaving the Yankees in the dust.
The Red Sox have won 9 of their last 11 now, while Toronto and Baltimore just sputtering along at 500. Can't make up any ground on the Red Sox.
Clay Buchholz pitched another very good game for Boston today. Yes, he went, says David Rackley, and they ring up Schimpf. 6 strikeouts for Greinke. Alex Dickerson has flat out walked. He's 0 for 1. Ball 1, fastball missed. Bullpen will get busy with Greinke creeping up on 100 pitches. Randall Delgado, the right-hander, and Edwin Escobar, the lefty. The wild card races are about all we have right now. If you look at some of these divisions,
Boston leads the East in the American League by 5. Cleveland in the Central 7.5 up on the Tigers. Texas a 9-game lead in the West over Houston. Nationals lead the Mets by 9 in the National League East. And the Cubs are running away from everybody, 16.5 up on the Cardinals. Cubs are 96 and 55. And even the Dodgers up 5 on the Giants. Toronto and Baltimore hold the AL wild card spots right now. Giants, Mets, and Cardinals. If the Giants lose tonight in LA, we'll be back in a 3-way tie for 2 spots in the National League. .100 pitches for Zack Greinke, 58 for strikes.
About this time of year, every year you get the discussion, is it better to clinch early and give your guys some rest that need the rest, or is it better to grind right down to the last day of the season?
Doesn't his history show us that if you have a long layoff, you're just not the same team?
It just depends on how long the layoff is and how you handle it. I mean, you know, it's one thing to give your superstar players a day off here or there down the stretch when you've got things in hand, but yeah, too much time off and you kind of get out of the rhythm of the game again. You'd like to think the adrenaline in the postseason would be enough to make up for that, but yeah, too many off days at this time of year is counterproductive.
Yeah, teams seem to come out flat to start the postseason, and you lose 1 or 2 games, and that might be it. It's too late.
I think the biggest benefit you get by clinching early is to get your pitching set up. You know, some of those guys in the bullpen that have been your go-to guys that you've really leaned on throughout the regular season. Maybe you cut back on their workload a little bit in that last couple weeks of the regular season. Maybe you shorten up your starters instead of letting them pitch 110 pitches into the 7th or 8th inning. You shorten them up to 5 innings. Use the guys in the bullpen that need the extra work.
Zack Greinke, 7 strikeouts, 2 down in the 6th.
Hey fans, with MLB.TV Premium, watch every out-of-market game live in HD on more than 400 supported devices and enjoy a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV.
Alexi Amarista 0 for 2. The second baseman tonight for Andy Green. Baseball is such a game of routine and habit. I would imagine that if you start to shut some players down near the end of the year, maybe physically the body senses that, and the body's waiting to take a rest too. It's been 7 months every day. You run into that danger too, don't you?
Oh, sure. And everybody's a little different. Some guys need the days off. Other guys would rather just keep playing.
Right to Chris Owings, and Greinke with the lead works a 1-2-3-6. Diamondbacks lead the Padres 3-2.
Backs at Petco Park, they lead the Padres 3-2 as we start the 7th. Look at the way the ball game ended tonight at Citi Field in New York. Mets and Braves. Ender Inciarte at the wall. Cespedes might have a walk-off homer, but Inciarte in center for Atlanta brings the ball back from over the fence and makes one of the catches of the year for the Braves. A little chest bump there with Dansby Swanson. And Yoenis Cespedes, who thought he had the walk-off winner there, instead gets the final out of the ball game. And the Mets are in a dogfight right now, as we mentioned, for that wild card spot.
The Braves were pretty excited for a team that's 30 games under 500 after that big win tonight.
Haven't had much to cheer about. Jake Lamb 0 for 2. Jake still looking for his first hit in the series. Listed in the air to right for John Jay. One out to start the 7th. It's been a good series for Yasmani Tomas. He singled his last time up. He's got 5 hits and a walk. Doubled twice in the ball game last night. So Yasmani's now hit safely in 5 straight. D-backs have out-hit the Padres 5-2. They lead at 3-2. 2 Paul Goldschmidt home runs tonight. Numbers 22 and 23 for Goldie. Out of play, and it's 0-2. Randall Delgado still throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. Greinke's over 100 pitches. His spot would be coming up 3 after Tomas. And Greinke at 107 pitches, 62 strikes, likely done for the night.
TMP, too many pitches, has been a problem for just about every Diamondback starter this year, and Zach Greinke is not immune. He threw a lot of pitches tonight, as you mentioned, a lot of sliders in the dirt, down low and away from right-handed hitters, trying to get some swinging strikes. And the Padres, for the most part, were able to lay off that pitch, force him into some deep counts, and run up that pitch count.
He threw a lot of pitches, and a lot of pitches that were not strikes. Either trying to get guys to chase, you're just not locating that slider. Trying to get his first win this month. 0-3 in 3 starts in September. 2-2 on Tomas. But it will be up to the bullpen from this point on, it looks like. Travis Jankowski in center field, well over toward right center, and Dickerson well off the line in left. They play Tomas to go the other way. He bounces it to third. Schimpf has it. 2 outs.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Well, Brandon Drury came into San Diego red hot, but he is still hitless in the series. He has grounded out twice against Perdomo tonight, once into a double play. Perdomo 90 pitches, 57 strikes. And his spot would be due up third in the bottom half of this inning, so this figures to be Perdomo's last go round. And he's once again pitched very well. Perdomo's already beaten the Diamondbacks twice this year. Once at Petco Park exactly a month ago, August 21st, and once at Chase Field on the 4th of July. the middle. Sardinius behind the bag collects that one and throws him out. Another ground ball out for Perdomo. We stretch at Petco Park. D-backs hanging on to a 3-2 lead. As we start the bottom of the 7th here in San Diego. Fans, don't miss the final series of the year at Chase Field against these Padres. September 30th through October 2nd, and on Saturday the 1st, first 10,000 fans 21 and older can pick up a D-backs beer stein. That's courtesy of Budweiser. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com. Only 3 more home games left this season. All 3 against the San Diego Padres. Your Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change is Randall Delgado. A 4.5 ERA, his 73rd appearance. He worked Sunday against the Dodgers and had a tough time. Gave up 2 runs, a pair of walks, left without retiring a batter. And he's given up runs in 3 of his last 5 appearances. And he works to the shortstop, Luis Sardinius, to lead off the 7th. So Greinke out of the ball game after retiring the last 7 he faced. Zach threw 107 pitches, 62 strikes. Walked 4, 1 intentionally, and struck out 7. Gave up just 2 hits. Sardinius, the catcher Norris on deck, and then the pitcher spot for the Padres in the bottom of the 7th. In the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes. Delgado strikes out Sardinius to open up the 7th. 1 away. That hard Delgado changeup.
That's always been Randall's best secondary pitch, that changeup. At times it'll fade away from a left-handed hitter. Other times it'll go straight down toward the ground. Great arm speed.
The catcher Derek Norris has grounded out. He was walked intentionally. Pitcher spot is due up next, and one of the Padres' top prospects just called up after the ball game last night from AAA is in the on-deck circle. Carlos Asuaje, acquired from the Red Sox in November in the Craig Kimbrell trade. He will hit for the pitcher Perdomo. Derek Norris must feel like he's been 0-2 since March.
It's just so odd to see a guy that's been a good major league hitter at other stops in his career, but just has not gotten it going at all this season. Yeah, usually you'll go on a streak for a couple of weeks where the ball starts dropping in, the ground ball starts finding holes, and you get your average up to respectability and then go to work from there. But Derek Norris hasn't even been able to get to respectability yet.
Lays off a slider, and it's 1-2. Brandon Morrow, the right-hander, warming up with the Padre bullpen as they get set to hit for Perdomo. That's a fair ball down the left field line. He just did keep it inside the bag. It rolls around in the left field corner, and Derek Norris has his 17th double.
Hanging change up that time, up about letter high, and just tomahawks it right over the bag down into the left field corner there. Nearly a foul ball. Randall's got some work to do.
Well, here is the major league debut of 24-year-old Carlos Asuaje, a top prospect in their system, one of a bunch of prospects that San Diego got in the Craig Kimbrell deal from the Red Sox last November. Mike Butcher out to the mound. Asuaje played all of this year at AAA El Paso and had a very good year, as you see here, 321 and 9 home runs. They're very excited about this young man and some of the others they got in that deal, as well as they restocked the farm system basically with one move. And so this is a heck of a time for his first major league at bat, but here he is. Tying run at second and one out. Asuaje, born in Venezuela, grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 11th round pick by the Red Sox in the draft 3 years ago. And he steps in for the first time in the big leagues. Got to figure he's going to be ready to swing for the fences, so he gets a first pitch changeup.
That's another form of situational hitting. Your first at bat in the big leagues. I guess that's about as situational as it gets. I figure he's going to be very aggressive looking for that first knock, so Randall starts him with a changeup.
He did not go, David Rackley, and it's 1-1. Well, how about Andy Green throwing the kid who, I mean, they just called these guys up after the game last night. He throws them right in there in a big spot in the ball game. AAA El Paso had a very good run in the postseason, a run that ended last night. Manny Margot is here, Hunter Renfroe as well, some of the Padres' top prospects. And these are all names you're going to become more and more familiar with over the course of the next couple of years. These guys are all right on the cusp of being major league ready. Delgado behind 2 balls and a strike, trying to strand Norris at second with 1 out. Two and two. Well, he's seen the changeup from Delgado. He just saw the slider. Doubled up on the slider and missed, and now it's a full count, 3-2. The leadoff man Jankowski on deck. Called strike 3. Again, stayed away from the fastball. 3 straight sliders, and Delgado gets the strikeout. Here comes Chip Hale.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues, where they'll throw any pitch in any count. Good breaking ball right there by Randall Delgado. Just freezes the young man.
Well, you've had Edwin Escobar up and throwing in the bullpen. You got a couple of lefties coming up in Jankowski and Jay. And that's where they'll go, trying to hang on to a 3-2 lead. Park Padres have the tying run in scoring position, 2 down. And here's the left-hander Edwin Escobar, a 7.77 ERA, 22 appearances. He's worked a lot lately, mostly in very short relief. He appeared in each of the last 3 games of the Dodgers series. Travis Jankowski was the scheduled hitter, but Andy Green goes to his bench, and Hunter Renfroe, Padres' first-round pick in the draft 3 years ago, is up there. He'll be walked intentionally with first base open, and Escobar will work to the left-hand hitting John Jay. Hunter Renfroe is another one of the Padres' top prospects. He hit 30 home runs at El Paso this year. Drove in 105 RBIs in 133 games his first full year at AAA. So this is a definite star of the future for San Diego. First round pick out of Mississippi State, but he gets the free pass.
Renfroe was the Pacific Coast League regular season MVP. All the numbers that you mentioned, the 30 homers, 105 driven in, hit 306. Take the bat right out of his hands, put him on at first base. That's kind of an against the book move. Generally, you don't put the potential go-ahead run on base via the intentional walk, but Chip likes this matchup. Escobar against the left-hand hitting Jay, and that's the way the Diamondbacks are going to go about it here with 2 outs in the inning.
So Hunter Renfroe gets an intentional walk in his first major league plate appearance, and they'll work to Jay, who has walked and scored a run. He's 0 for 2. Jay still hitless in the series. Lays off that pitch outside, and Escobar is behind 2 balls and no strikes. Bullpen still busy for the D-backs. Jake Barrett, the right-hander, is throwing down there. You got Will Myers on deck. That fastball's in there, and it's 2-1. Strike 2. To third. Jake Lamb is there. They go the short way for the force on Renfroe, and Escobar strands 2. D-backs hang on to the 3-2 lead. We head to the gate at Petco Park. Padres 3-2. Tomorrow we fly to Baltimore, Maryland, and open up a 3-game series with the Orioles and Buck Showalter on Friday. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink, your pitching matchup. Shelby Miller and Yvonne Gallardo at Oriole Park at Camden Yards on Friday. Then Saturday, Robbie Ray against former D-back Wade Miley. Baltimore has not yet named a Sunday starter for that game against Braden Shipley.
I think it's Jim Palmer starting Sunday.
He would pitch if they asked him. New pitcher for the Padres out there, and some defensive changes behind it. One in relief of Luis Perdomo. It's the veteran right-hander Brandon Morrow, who has pitched scoreless baseball in 9 of his last 13 outings. Called up in the middle of last month from AAA El Paso, just his 14th big league appearance this year, but a 2.31 ERA. Hunter Renfroe remains in the ball game after hitting for Travis Jankowski. He'll take over in right field, and John Jay replaces Jankowski in center. Socrates Brito leads off the 8th inning. Brito has lined out to center and struck out. He's 0 for 2. There's the rookie Renfroe. Had a big season in the Fall League a couple of years ago. Led the Fall League in home runs, Hunter Renfroe. So some Valley baseball fans may remember him from not too long ago. Brito hitting an even 200 in 12 games since his latest minor league recall. Trying to get it going offensively. He's at 185 for the year. Well, we talked about how effective Luis Perdomo has been already with 2 wins in 2 starts against the Diamondbacks this year. That sinker has become one of the best in the league. Well, Perdomo tonight, 7 innings, he had 13 ground ball outs. Gave up just 3 runs on 5 hits. Did not walk a batter, but gave up 2 Goldie homers. And that has driven in all 3 D-backs runs. Will Myers' 2-run homer in the 3rd has been all the scoring for San Diego. 3-1 to Brito. He walked him. Leadoff man aboard. No pitcher spot is up for the Diamondbacks. That's the first walk issued by Padre pitchers tonight. And Mitch Haniger will be the hitter. Haniger had the night off with Brito starting in center. Mitch at 250 and 3 home runs. 1 for 7 in the series. He singled in Monday's opener. Norris keeping an eye on Brito down there at first. On the ground to shortstop. Sardinius for 1. Amarista turns it. Morrow erases the leadoff walk. That'll bring up Gene Segura, who bunted for a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3.
The unfortunate byproduct of that bunt for a base hit for Gene Segura is teams are going to start playing him in now because he bunts for a base hit.
All the time.
Yeah, you do it one time and everybody's going to play you in for the next month to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Well, you see Schimpf even with a bag at 3rd. It's been a quiet series for Gene. He singled Monday and had the bunt base hit his last time up. That's been it so far. He did walk twice in the ball game last night. There's Ryan Schimpf, the 3rd baseman. Headed for the right field corner. Hunter Renfroe's out there, and he's got it in foul ground. And Brandon Morrow retires the Diamondbacks in the 8th inning. D-backs hanging on. They lead it 3-2. Highlights presented by Cox. Zach Greinke tonight worked 6 innings, gave up only 2 hits. One was a Will Myers homer. He had 7 strikeouts. The Myers bomb really his only bad pitch of the night.
Yeah, he really had to work hard. His command was not as sharp as we're used to seeing from Zach Greinke, but was able to make the big pitches when he needed them the most. Punched out 7 Padres hitters. He did walk 4, 1 intentionally, and that certainly helped run that pitch count up on Zach.
Threw a hanging curveball. Myers didn't miss it, his 27th home run, and so it's a 3-2 ball game as Jake Barrett is on to start the home half of the 8th against Myers, who leads it off for San Diego. 67 appearances for Jake, a 3.53 ERA. He worked Sunday's win over the Dodgers, 1 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Myers has walked, homered, flied out, and he's down 0-1. Will Myers really likes hitting in this ballpark. They brought some of the fences in, especially in right field over the last couple of years, but it's always been a pitcher's park, and he says everybody talks about that, but he thinks it's very fair. Likes hitting here, comfortable atmosphere. And he's really hit the ball well here this year. When you think about some of the balls that Mark Trumbo and Giancarlo Stanton hit here during the home run derby this summer, what a show that was.
I like home run derby where they have targets. The Western Metal Supply Company, the second deck out there in left center field, the batter's eye in center. I like it when they have something to shoot for.
Well, we're going on the roof up there, Western Metal Supply. Fly ball to left for Drury. One away, they retire Myers to lead off the 8th. Well, Jake Barrett has really pitched well lately. Last 12 appearances for Jake, 12 scoreless innings. He's given up only 1 hit, 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. That's just about where Goldie hit his home run earlier. That second deck over the scoreboard in left. That was his first one tonight. His second one was majestic, high and deep into the Padre bullpen. Here's Ryan Schimpf, 0 for 3. Diamondbacks have done a very good job on Ryan Schimpf in this series because he's been a problem since he's been up second half of the year. 9 games against the Diamondbacks, 4 doubles, 5 home runs, and 10 RBIs. But still just 1 hit in the series, a single Monday night. And Jake Barrett blows him away, 2 down.
Hey fans, Sunday, October 2nd is Fan Appreciation Day at Chase Field for the final home game of the season. Fans can win great prizes all game long. The D-backs versus Padres matchup starts at 12:10. Get tickets now at dbacks.com.
We finish up with 3 against the Padres at Chase Field next weekend. Alex Dickerson has flied out, walked, struck out, 0 for 2. Dodgers are beaten up on the Giants. It's 8-2 Los Angeles in the 4th inning. Kenta Maeda on the mound. Matt Moore started that game for the Giants. He's long gone. Yasiel Puig hit a 3-run homer off Moore. That'll put the Dodgers 6 up in the division and pretty much seal the deal. if it's not already.
A wild card will go back into a three-way tie.
Giants, Cardinals, and Mets, 3 teams for 2 spots with about 10 days to go. Two 2-0 on Dickerson. Carves it foul the other way. Jake Lamb backwards over his shoulder, and he can't get it. Tricky play for the third baseman. It drops in foul ground. Well, that would have been a very difficult play.
Yeah, it just wasn't high enough in the air for Jake to get out there and turn around and square up and make a catch. He tries to go over the shoulder with the basket play. He just can't come up with it. That's a really tough play.
No play is how you score that. It's 2-1 on Dickerson. D-backs only 3-6 in this ballpark this year. Greinke got him this far. Now it's up to the bullpen. Delgado and Escobar did a good job in the 7th. It's Barron in the 8th, and that one is going to get to the wall in right center. Dickerson with another extra base hit, and he'll stop at second. Alex Dickerson is 15th double. Doubled twice in the ball game last night, and he's the tying run.
That worked the count in his favor. Predictable fastball count, and he's all over it. Jake Barrett just tried to throw it right down the middle of the plate to get back into the count there, and Dickerson bangs it off the wall in right center for a 2-out double.
Manny Margot, another one of the young prospects called up after the ball game yesterday from AAA, will run for Dickerson. He's got great speed. And Chip Hale makes the slow walk to the mound. The batter is Alexi Amarista. And Chip will go to the bullpen. Daniel Hudson warming up out there. Back after this. Lead. Padres have the tying run at second, and the new pitcher for the D-backs is Daniel Hudson. 64 appearances, a 5.60 ERA. Huddy worked 1 scoreless inning Sunday in the win over the Dodgers. He has been outstanding lately. Last 19 appearances, 16 innings, 19 strikeouts, and a 1.69 ERA. Manny Margot will run at second for Alex Dickerson. He's the tying run with 2 outs. The scheduled hitter is Alexi Amarista, but here comes the catcher Rene Rivera off Andy Green's bench. Oh, check that. It's Hector Sanchez. Got the wrong backup catcher. Hector Sanchez.
They're interchangeable.
25 games with the Padres this year. Former San Francisco Giant. Margot, the tying run at second, 2 outs. Sanchez, the switch hitter, bats from the left-hand side. Chris Owings is there, and Daniel Hudson, one pitch ends the threat. As Sanchez lines out to short, it's still 3-2 D-backs. As we start the 9th inning. Hey, D-backs fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device. Just use the all-new Fox Sports Go app. You can download the app for free and take Fox Sports Arizona and Diamondbacks baseball with you wherever you go. We go to the 9th inning. New pitcher for the Padres. It's the right-hander Kevin Quackenbush, who pitched 1 inning of the ball game last night through 18 pitches, his 56th appearance of the year.
Or as he appears in my scorebook, K-Quack.
K-Quack, that's what they should call him.
That's a lot of last name there. I just shortened it to Quackenbush. Quack.
Defensive changes behind him after Andy Green's been pushing some buttons. John Jay now moves over to left field. And Manny Margot is the new center fielder. Adam Rosales checks in at second base after they hit for Amarista.
Andy Green channeling his inner Bud Black here, moving outfielders around.
He's got all these kids from AAA this morning, and he's put them all in the ball game here tonight. Chris Owings leads off the 9th against Quackenbush, and there's strike 1. Rosales will bat 9th for San Diego. Pitcher spot is now 6th. One and 2 on Chris Owings. In the air, center field, Margot, the new center fielder out there, back to the warning track, and he's got it for the first out.
And Paul Goldschmidt making his way to the plate. He's had a big night already. A couple of home runs, 3 driven in. Look at the location on these pitches. Norris wants it down and away. It ends up and out over the plate. He bombs that one to center field. Once again, the target low and away. The pitch strays up and in. That one's gone. And might as well make it 3. Up and over the heart of the plate.
Well, as you said, if pitchers never made mistakes, nobody would ever get hits.
That's right.
Little soft curveball drops in there for strike one. One and two. Goldie had just 6 home runs since the All-Star break, but he's homered twice tonight in 3 at-bats. Hard to second. Rosales is right there. 2 outs.
It's rare that a ground ball to second base gets oohs and ahs from a road crowd, but the fans here at Petco, when Goldie made contact with that high pitch and hit that hard grounder right at second, ooh. We're just glad to keep him in the ballpark that at bat.
It's good to see him squaring up some balls, that's for sure. Castillo singled in the first. He's 1 for 3. Padres in the bottom of the 9th inning will have Sardinius, Norris, and Rosales 7, 8, 9. And after Daniel Hudson ended the 8th inning on 1 pitch, there is no one warming up at the Diamondback bullpen, so it looks like Huddy will go back out there. Try and lock down the 4-out save.
I would guess we'll probably see a couple of left-handers off of Andy Green's bench. He's got Arcia and Wallace still available to swing from the left side of the plate against Daniel Hudson.
Wallace struck out as a pinch hitter last night. We've yet to see Osvaldo Arcia, who the Padres picked up on waivers not too long ago. 1 and 2 on Castillo. Sent this one out to Renfroe in right. The rookie backs up and he's got it. And we'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Diamondbacks trying to salvage the series finale with a 1-run lead. There you go. Diamondbacks' final game here this year. And our Gila River game summary shows them holding on to a 3-2 lead. A 2-run home run night for Paul Goldschmidt after he homered last night. And Will Myers' 2-run homer in the third off Zach Greinke. All the San Diego scoring so far. Daniel Hudson, who got the final out of the 8th inning, back out there to work the ninth and get the 4-out save. The work to Luis Sardinius, Derek Norris, and Adam Rosales. 7, 8, 9 due up in the San Diego ninth. Sardinius so far 0 for 3. Sardinius is switch hitter for his career. He's about 50 points better from the right-hand side. He's a career .220 batter, batting lefty. Fastball missed, and it's a ball and a strike. Sardinius only 23 years old. He's already been with 4 different teams. The Rangers, Milwaukee, Seattle, now San Diego. 2-1.
Sardinius will occasionally get some Raimel Tapia in his swing. We saw Tapia with the Rockies, a good-looking young player, but takes a really big uppercut swing. And occasionally Sardinius will try to lift that ball in the air to right field.
2-2. Sardinius, originally signed by Texas out of Venezuela in '09. Made his major league debut with the Rangers 2 seasons ago. He was just 21. Traded to Milwaukee in the Yvonne Gallardo deal before last year. Brewers sent him to Seattle. Now the Padres have picked him up. And he's got a full count, 3-2. The catcher Derek Norris, who doubled his last time up, is on deck.
Did Daniel Hudson a favor right there. Chased a pitch up out of the zone, fouled it away.
Short left center, Brito coming in. One out in the ninth, and here's Norris. Norris's double his last time up, his first hit in the series. 184 on the year with 13 homers. No pinch hitter so far from Andy Green. He used Sanchez to hit for Amarista. They did add another catcher. They brought up Austin Hedges, so if you wanted to, you could have hit for Norris here.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed Andy Green was going to pull out all the stops here in the ninth inning. He liberally went to the bench back in that 8th inning.
Got all the kids in. But Brett Wallace has really struggled, lefty, their left-hand pinch hitter off the bench, so they'll stick with what they got here with Norris. And the way Rosales has swung the bat lately, you want him up there. Even though he bats right-handed, he's on deck. Outside, it's 2-1.
Rosales had a big night last night. He'll be next. Homered and drove in 4 runs. Drives it to center. Socrates Brito is there. 2 outs.
Boy, Brito is smooth out there in center field. Got a good jump on the ball, hit to the gap in left center, called off Brandon Drury to make that play, and then off like a shot on that line drive to his left. Ran it down with ease.
The dangerous Rosales, whose bat is really heating up lately. A home run, 4 RBIs last night. 233 on the year. Rosales has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games. And he's had a big second half to the year, Adam Rosales. Over 306 homers since the All-Star break. He's ahead 1-0. Slider is strike 1. Hunter Renfroe, the rookie, who just was intentionally walked in his first major league plate appearance, is on deck. He would be next. How about this? Renfroe, only the 3rd player in the last 40 years to get an intentional walk in his first major league plate appearance. The other 2, Luis Lopez in 2001 with the Blue Jays and Steve Carter with the '89 Pirates. Daniel Hudson a strike away. Got him. Daniel Hudson gets the final 4 outs, and the Diamondbacks get a win here at Petco Park in their final game here in 2016. They win it 3-2.
Well, nice job by everybody tonight. Zach Greinke, even though he threw a lot of pitches, gave up only the 2 base hits and the 2 runs, and the bullpen came in and put up zeros. Daniel Hudson finishing it off with an inning and a 1/3.
Sure did. Delgado and Escobar in the 7th, Barrett and Huddy in the 8th, and Hudson in the 9th. 1-2-3. And the Diamondbacks in 10 games at Petco Park this season finished 4-6. They salvaged the series finale. Zach Greinke, his first win this month and his 13th of the year. Perdomo, despite the 13 ground ball outs, gets the loss, and Hudson gets the save. 2 home runs by Paul Goldschmidt was all the Diamondbacks needed tonight. We'll have more from Petco Park. Diamondback Live postgame show brought to you by CenturyLink is coming up next from San Diego.